Okay, good afternoon.
Halo Pak Dian.
Ya, Mas.
Masih nunggu yang lain, Pak.
Oh, oke.
Prof Yasufuku kelihatannya udah masuk. Udah saya set ke co-host.
Excuse me, can you hear me? I'm Noriyuki Yasufuku.
Okay, Prof. Good afternoon, Professor. I'm Dian also.
Yeah, good afternoon. Are you fine? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You're still waiting for the participant, Prof.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's raining in here, Prof.
How do I call you?
You can call me Dian, Prof.
Diandro.
Dian.
Dian-san.
Dian. Oh, yes, Dian-san.
Dian-san. Please call me Nori-san.
Nori-san.
Nori-san. So Dian-san is a former supervisor of Akumaru-san.
Please.
Akumaru-kun. I had a doctor students from Gajah Mada University. Muhammadu Akumaru-san.
Hi, Sensei. Yeah. Dian Sensei he's my teacher.
Oh,
he's my lecturer, Sensei.
When looking at this poster, I'm one of the visiting professors in your university at the moment. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm asking.
Yes.
When I'm now looking at the poster,
yes.
The upper right-hand part, visiting professor webinar series 11.
Yes,
okay. I'm one of the visiting professor of your university. I want to confirm.
Yes, Sensei.
Yes.
Sensei, you are the last visiting professor.
Visiting professor.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand.
Yes, there is 11 visiting professors, Prof.
11.
From Houston, and the 10 webinar from Hokkaido University.
Oh, really?
Yes, about soil irrigation.
Mm-hmm. When when I start the lecture, the title Recent Slope Geo-Disasters, the Adaptation in Japan, please let me know the starting time.
In my schedule, it's 1 p.m., but it's still waiting for
Waiting for.
participants.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm waiting. Is it okay to go to toilet?
Oh, yeah, yes. Oh, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Pak Dian.
Ya.
Nanti kalau misalkan mau mulai nanti bilang aja, nanti saya tinggal stop share biar Prof Yasufuku bisa mulai start sharing screen.
Oh ya. Mau nunggu berapa Mas ini Mas?
Ya.
Mau nunggu berapa orang Mas?
Kalau partisipannya sih kelihatannya sekitar 70-an. Ini baru 50 kalau nggak salah. Kurangi kita.
Nah kita ya. Mas Akmal tolong dibantu ya Mas Akmal ya.
Siapa?
Berapa?
Itu Mas Akmal dulu dibantu ini.
Iya Pak. Tadi saya juga ditanyain dengan sensei Pak. Yang ikut partisipannya berapa? Nah saya kemarin jawabnya 100. Wah banyak katanya. Udah gitu aja Pak. Nanti saya coba tanyain sensei.
Ini di Jepang
Gimana
juga.
Pak?
Di
Iya
Jepang
Pak.
juga.
Iya Pak. Di Jepang Pak.
Lagi di kampus sama beliaunya Mal.
Betul Pak.
Oh gitu.
Sensei, this time we should do waiting, I think. So the total participant on this lecture within 70 people. So I think we should do waiting until 70. Yeah. Maybe.
Up to when?
Yeah, maybe Dian Sensei confirm the time.
10 minutes or 15 minutes?
Yeah, 15 minutes or 10 minutes, Dian Sensei.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
I want to have a relaxed time.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tin. Itu dipanggilnya Prof Noria.
Ya, Suku Sensei. Sebentar ya, Pak. Saya kayak ditanyain. Sensei.
Yes.
もし、
これじゃあ打ち出してほしい。もしね、
いや。
このビジティングプロフェッ
Yeah,
サーなら
visiting professor.
サーティフィケーションが欲しい。
Yeah, Sensei. This is
Official letter is important.
Yeah, Sensei. Yeah, Sensei. I think you already received the email. So in this email, the official letter already
Received.
Yeah, received.
Oh, really?
I think.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe I can follow up to the head of department, Sensei.
So I have this responsibility to show the evidence to the university.
Yes, Sensei. Yes, Sensei. Then maybe for the certificate, you should to wait because dean of that university wants to take a signature. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Udah masuk ke 70 Pak Dian, kalau misalkan mau dimulai monggo. Saya tinggal stop screen.
Saya coba bilangin ke Sensei. Segera.
Sip.
Mohon maaf Pak, kayaknya Sensei lagi sibuk ngobrol sama yang lain.
Oh gitu.
Sebentar Pak ya.
Ya kita tunggu aja dulu lah. Ya.
Nanti saya
Kita stop screen sekarang aja Pak ya, nanti biar bisa langsung mulai.
Iya gitu aja Pak, betul Pak.
Ya boleh.
Ya. Makasih Pak.
Thank you.
Tadi saya kan bicara dengan Sensei Pak ya.
Yeah.
Sensei nitip pesan karena sepertinya kemarin itu visiting letter atau surat dari kampus Undip ke Kyudai ingin dijadikan ini Pak, ingin dijadikan bukti gitu di departemen sini. Jadi kan butuh apa ya? Ya invitation-nya gitu Pak. Yang kemarin itu sepertinya kan apa ya? Kalau bisa dibilang saya nggak tahu seberapa resminya untuk satu dokumen gitu Pak. Cuma nanti tolong di itu kan Pak. Tolong dibantu Pak.
Boleh.
Karena penting katanya Sensei gitu Pak, untuk pembuktian aja di departemen sini.
Mungkin perlu pakai nomor surat seperti itu mungkin ya.
Iya Pak, mungkin nggak mesti pakai nomor surat, kayaknya juga nggak ketahuan juga, maksudnya nggak kelihatan di situ Pak. Saya nggak tahu juga sih.
Sana kan.
Gitu aja Pak. Seperti apa bentuknya juga saya kurang tahu, tapi ya mohon disertakan aja Pak nanti Pak. Terima kasih Pak.
Ya. Berarti nanti suratnya disusulkan ya Mas Redi ya?
Mungkin surat bisa nyusul Pak, mungkin bisa kalau misalkan tanggalnya harus sebelum ini, paling anti datir aja nanti tanggalnya sebelum Tapi kalau tanggalnya ternyata nggak masalah nyusul ya mengikuti tanggal suratnya aja.
Kalau kemarin suratnya dari fakultas atau dari departemen?
Wah, ini saya kurang tahu. Mbak Jenny mungkin yang lebih tahu.
Mungkin bisa langsung aja Pak disertakan dalam sertifikatnya langsung aja Pak gitu yang dikirim.
Nanti kami sampaikan aja ya. Saya juga kurang tahu masalah surat apakah sudah dikirim ke sensei apa belum.
Kalau kemarin saya dapatnya itu proposal. Jadi mungkin entah proposal itu bisa dibilang resmi atau enggak, karena saya rasa sensei juga lupa gitu, misalnya udah pernah saya kasih proposal gitu kemarin.
Iya, kalau
gitu
proposalnya
aja.
kemarin yang saya dapat dari Pak Najib juga sepertinya sih belum ada semacam pengesahan atau apa yang gimana. Terus kemarin Pak Najib itu malah nanya atau suruh buatkan sertifikat. Katanya diminta sama sensei. Itu lagi dibikin sih.
Itu aja.
Kalau
itu juga
surat
boleh.
coba nanti tak
Dibarengin
akan ke Pak Najib juga.
Mohon bantuannya Bu.
Oke.
Sensei, did you hear me?
Prof, good afternoon, Prof.
Hai Sensei. Saya konfirmasi aja langsung ke sana ya Pak. Ditunggu Pak.
Boleh.
Hai. Oh ini. I'm standby.
Thank you, Prof.
Is it okay to start my talk?
Okay, I will be open this webinar, Prof.
So if so, it's okay to share the presentation slide right now?
Yes.
Okay, please give me a time. Oh, just a moment. I want to change the screen. ちょっと待ってね。まあ、これでいいか。Dian-san, can you see my slide?
Yes, I can, Prof.
And it's okay enough at the moment?
Yes, enough. And I will introduce Prof. Noriyuki and open this webinar, Prof.
Okay. So, before starting my talk, are you going to introduce me? No?
Yes, Prof. Yes, Prof.
Oh, yes, I'm waiting.
Yes. Thank you, Prof.
Yeah.
Okay, all participants, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Good afternoon, staff and student of Geological Engineering Department, Diponegoro University. Up to now, we already conducted 10 webinar series. Today is the 11th webinar series. Now we have a special lecture about geo-disaster related to engineering geology. Our theme now is about geo-disaster and the adaptation.
Yes, started.
This webinar will be held around 1.5 hours. 6 minutes for speaker presentation and another 30 minutes for question and answer session. Now it's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Professor Noriyuki Yasufuku. I will briefly introduce Professor Yasufuku. Professor Yasufuku is a professor from Kyushu University. He is from Department of Civil Engineering, Kyushu University. He got a doctoral from Yamaguchi University, Japan in 1991, and he's being a professor in Kyushu University since 2009 to know. His expertise is about geotechnical and foundation engineering, unsaturated geotechnical science, geoenvironmental engineering. He received many awards, one of which is about an estimation method for predicting final concentration, settlement of ground improved by floating soil cement columns. Regarding to his experience in public relations, the newest is continuous pressurization method for a rapid determination of the soil water characteristic for remolded and undisturbed cohesion soils. And today, Prof will speaking to us about recent slope geo-disaster and their adaptation in Japan. I believe it's very interesting topic for us with our background geological engineering field. Before we start, to any of you who has question for our speaker, please kindly write down your question in chat room, or you can raise your hand and wait to be called by moderator to you directly. Please write your question with the format your name _ intercession and _ question. Last but not least, please kindly turn off your microphone during the event, except you allow to turn on it by moderator or our speaker. Oke, sebelum kita masuk ke sesi selanjutnya, saya mengingatkan kepada para partisipan, bagi yang ingin menyampaikan pertanyaan, silakan menuliskan pertanyaan Anda di chat room atau mengangkat tangan dan tunggu hingga dipersilakan oleh moderator. Untuk pertanyaan yang diajukan, silakan tulis nama, institusi, dan pertanyaan. Dan tidak kalah pentingnya, tolong matikan mikrofon Anda selama acara berlangsung, kecuali Anda diminta menyalakannya oleh moderator atau pembicara. Oke, Prof. Yasufuku, now we are move to most important session for today's event, lecture and discussion from Professor Yasufuku. Please welcome Professor Yasufuku. The screen is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dian-san. Very kind introduction for me. I'm very much appreciated to give a lecture in your university with many staff and students. So today, I want to talk about the recent slope geo. Can you see my slide correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Geo-disasters, and can you find the marker? Red one.
Yes, Sensei.
Geo-disasters and their adaptation in Japan. My name is Noriyuki Yasufuku of Kyushu University. So I don't know, students know where is Kyushu Island. Indonesia, far from here, far from here. Then Taiwan here, Shanghai here, our island here, we call it Kyushu Island. Kyushu Island. Then this is when we enlarge this Kyushu Island, we can find this photo. You know, my campus belongs to Fukuoka Prefecture. Then my university located at Itoshima, around here. Recent 10 years, every year we face to the geo-disaster due to heavy rainfall or severe earthquake. Today, I want to focus on the geo-disaster in Kyushu during 10 years. So if you have something questions, please do not hesitate to make a question to me. Okay? So time to time, I want to ask the students. Dian-san, okay? When I talk something, I want to ask something to students.
Okay, bro.
No problem?
No problem, bro.
Oh, thank you. Please keep in your memory Fukuoka Prefecture around here, Kumamoto Prefecture, middle of Kyushu Island around here, and Oita Prefecture, just east part of Kyushu Island around here. Fukuoka Prefecture is the north part of Kyushu Island around here. Today's talk linked with geo-disaster occurred in this area. Please keep in your memory Fukuoka, Kumamoto, and Oita Prefecture. Okay? Then this slide indicates the route of recent heavy rainfall disasters, including Honshu, west part of Honshu Island, up to Hiroshima. Okay? So you can see there are so many disasters like this. Hiroshima, for example, 20th August 2014, and Susa torrential rain disaster, 28th July 2013. Here is the Yamaguchi area. Here is the Hiroshima area. And also Hofu. Hofu located at the Yamaguchi Prefecture. In 29, very severe geo-disaster occurred due to heavy rainfall. And also our hometown, northern Kyushu area, faced to the very severe geo-disaster in 24th July 2009. And also here, this is a disaster route. Red line is a disaster route, as you may know. Northern Kyushu, 5th July 2017. And very old record, 1720. Mino mountain range. It's just south part of Fukuoka Prefecture. Mino mountain range has has a record to face to the huge geo-disaster. And also today's my talk, I want to focus on this two lines geo-disaster. We call it Northern Kyushu geo-disaster occurred on 14th July 2012 in north part of Fukuoka Prefecture and Oita Prefecture and also Kumamoto Prefecture. Okay, my talk focus on this disaster, geo-disaster. Then today's contents of my talk list up here. At first, I want to introduce past sediment disasters and recent heavy rainfall. And then I want to outline and characterize of geo-disasters in 2012. So mainly focus on rainfall conditions, sediment disasters in Kumamoto prefectures first. After that, I want to focus on sediment disasters in Fukuoka prefectures. And also, nowadays, a very, very severe collapse of slope occur. We call it occurrence of collapse in the absence of rainfall. We call it silent collapse in mountain area. I want to briefly introduce this collapse in the absence of rainfall. Why collapse occur? I want to discuss, I want to consider with students today. And also following these geo-disasters I introduced, I want to just discuss the approaches towards the prevention and reduction of sediment disasters. So at first, I want to define what is geo-disaster or sediment disasters. So in my understanding, geo-disasters include sediment disasters and damage of river dike. So in this definition, what is sediment disasters? Sediment disasters include debris flow, landslides, and slope failure. We classify three categories: debris flow, landslide, and slope failure. Considering this sense, I want to talk about the geo-disasters event in 2012. So this figure, this table indicates the rainfall-induced geo-disaster. So rainfall intensity and pattern categorized by Japan Meteorological Agency. So we call it JMA. JMA classified precipitation per hours like this: 10 to 20 millimeter, 20 to 30 millimeter per hour, 30 to 50 millimeter, 50 to 80 millimeter, and over 80 millimeter. Okay, so category right down here, 10 to 20 millimeter category is named as relatively heavy rain. And also 20 to 30 millimeter category, category heavy we call it heavy rain. And also 30 to 50 millimeter, so JMA named torrential rain, and 50 to 80 meter, moderate torrential rain, and over 80, JMA named heavy torrential rain. So the JMA prepares the people's feelings. So I want to ask students. So 10 to 20 millimeter per hour, we face to 10 to 2 millimeters precipitation per hour. People's feeling. What people's feeling can we have? So my question should be, can I say Jenia Marin-san? Can I call me?
Hi, Sensei.
Sound facts. When what's people feeling? Sound something when raining. Can you guess?
Maybe sounds. What to say?
Your expectation, okay. When you face to rainfall in Indonesia, 10 to 20 millimeter, how do you feel?
I just like a drizzle, light rain.
Drizzle?
Yes.
Oh, so outdoor condition, water accumulated in pond on the surface. This is an image of outdoor condition. So sound, I think not so easy. Japanese sense, I guess. Zaza. Sound yeah. Zaza when raining. Zaza.
What
okay.
is Zaza, Sensei?
Eh?
What is Zaza?
Zaza is a sound, feeling of sound. Zaza. Rainfall, when we listen to the rainfall, when 10 to 20 meter, I imagine a rainfall Zaza.
Oh,
this
well,
is
nice
no meaning.
description.
No, it's a sound feeling. Zaza. Go, for example, go, Zaza. Kind of that. And also 20 to 30 millimeter pouring rain. Outdoor condition flow in streams on the surface. 30 to 50 meter splashing from bucket. Road becomes submerged with flowing water. This is outdoor condition. So my question goes to Jenia-san again. Can you respond to me?
Yes, Sensei.
50 to 80 millimeter, flowing like something. I think you can imagine. Outdoor condition, visibility dramatically reduced due to rainfall. Flowing like?
So
like fat.
Heavier than splashing a bucket, maybe like a waterfall.
Water flow. Correct. Great.
Yay.
Waterfall. Like waterfall. Then over 80 millimeter again. Feels scared. Triggers large scale disaster. So outdoor condition triggers large scale disasters. Over 80. Something I want to say. Breathless feels scared. If we face to the precipitation over 80 millimeter per hour, my feeling breathless feels scared. This is JMA category. I don't know in English, Indonesian Meteorological Agency say something. But I think this is it becomes one of the reference to understand precipitation image of rainfall. Jenia-san, okay? Accepted what I say?
Yeah, I understand, Sensei.
Oh, thank you. Then, so anyway, I want to make a question. What is the maximum precipitation rate, official precipitation rate recorded in Japan? Do you know that? This precipitation was occurred in 1982 in Nagasaki. So I think difficult to answer. This maximum precipitation rate record in Japan is now 187 millimeter per hour. That is national official record in Japan. Do you know the national official record in Indonesia? So who can?
Maybe if the precipitation is high, yeah, Sensei. Yeah, Sensei. Maybe if precipitation is high, maybe around more than 100 millimeter per hour, Sensei.
More than 100.
Yeah, Sensei.
If so, please, Akumaru-san, check the record.
Yeah, Sensei.
Statistical record.
record.
Record in your country.
Yeah, Sensei.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to next slide. So this slide indicates the history of geodisaster in Kyushu from 1962 to 2020. Year right down here, months indicated here, place like this, just difficult to understand. Today, I focus on this one. What I have already explained. Triggers factor, right down here. My focusing geodisaster, the triggers factor should be seasonal rainfall. So this column indicates the number of casualties. So you can see, like, you mean maximum rainfall precipitation was occurred in this disaster. You can see 259 people killed by this disaster. Then 2012, 34 people killed in this disaster. So therefore, in my sense, very severe disaster and difficult to forget. Then, you know, this slide indicates the statistics of sediment disasters in Japan. So, Shifa Natasha-san, can I communicate with me? Shifa Natasha-san.
Yes, sir.
Yes, oh. So, I think you have already understand the location of Kyushu, Okinawa, okay? In Japan.
Yes.
Do you know Hokkaido?
I don't really know.
So
Sorry.
okay, no problem. North part of Japan. Hokkaido located at north part of Japan. As you may know, Japan has four big islands. Main island, Honshu. We call it Honshu. And the second biggest island, Hokkaido. And third one is Kyushu Island. The fourth one is Shikoku Island. So how many big islands do you have in your country? Shifa-san. Natasha-san, can you respond to me?
Yes, sir.
Java?
Yes.
I know Java Island. And Sumatra?
Sumatera Island.
Nataji-san, please respond.
Sumatra Island.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What is your university's, what is island which your university located?
Sumatra Island.
Sumatra Island. Oh.
And Kalimantan Island.
My memory, Sumatra is the biggest island in Indonesia. Is it correct?
Correct, Sensei.
Eh?
Correct, Sensei.
Correct. Oh, thank you. So anyway, when you look at this map, this static record, you can see sediment percentage of sediment disasters in Kyushu, Okinawa becomes more than 30%, which is much higher than those in other regions. So I want to say Kyushu Island is a very much disaster island comparing with another area of Japan. Okay, so then this slide indicates the trend of heavy rainfall and sediment disasters. So this is statistic record from 1976 to 2008, just little bit older record, but the trend doesn't change. So you know now upper graph indicates the number of rainfall intensity greater than 50 millimeter per hours, and lower figure indicates the number of sediment disasters from 1979 to 2008. From upper figure, you must understand that every 10 years, gradually, number of rainfall intensity greater than 50 millimeter per hour becomes greater and greater. You can see 160, 177, 239. And also, number of sediment disasters trend is similar. So, first 10 years, number of sediment disasters 819 per year. Then second 10 years 942 per year, and last 10 years 1051 per year. Then next 10 years this number becomes greater. That is a Japanese situation in relation to the heavy rainfall trend and sediment disasters trend. So I want to confirm these kind of situation exist in Indonesia. I don't very limited number of lists, so therefore difficult to communicate with another students. Marau-san is a student. Igzaudi Marau-san. Can you respond to me?
Yes, Professor.
So, how do you think current situation in Indonesia? Similar or different?
I don't know much, but maybe I think a different one.
Different one?
Yes.
Oh, what different?
Maybe about the precipitation rainfall, like in Indonesia, not so heavy.
Oh, really? But how about trend? Year by year, rainfall intensity, number of rainfall intensity becomes greater? number of sediment disasters becomes greater every 10 years. Do you have an image of geo-disaster, sediment disasters? Difficult to say.
Yes, yes, Professor. And, I can't answer that because I don't know.
Oh, okay, I understand. If you have enough amount of time, please search your country's situation. That is very much important.
Yes, Professor.
Okay. I want to move next slide. Okay? Manao-san.
Yes, Professor. Go on.
So I want to start the concrete record of geodisaster in 2012. At first, I want to introduce rainfall conditions. So this slide indicates the rainfall conditions. Number one, distribution of rainfall. So this is a map rainfall contour. Rainfall contour in this rainfall condition. You can see maximum is 340, for example. This is 250 contour, 200 contours, and center of this circle, 349, for example, kind of that. So this rainfall came to 1st to 7th July 2012. So from this figure, we can consider that accumulated rainfall in southern part becomes more than 500 millimeter, and also northern part measured over 350 millimeter. And second, flood disaster mainly occurred in Oita area here, due to heavy rainfall. This is distribution rainfall number one. And also this disaster, 2 times heavy rainfall come to same area. So you can see 1 week after 11th to 20th July 2012, rainfall again come to this area. You can see more severe rainfall come to this area. You can see this is 450 contour. And also please look at the center, 803 here. So from this contour map, we can say accumulated of rainfall becomes close to 1,000 millimeter in northern Kyushu. And many monitoring stations recorded largest amount of hourly rainfall over 100 millimeter per hour and daily rainfall over 400 to 500 millimeter per day from 12th to 14th July. Very, very severe rainfall hit to this area. So linked with this heavy rainfall, many geodisasters occurs in this area. So most of sediment disasters caused by those type of rainfall. This is a disaster record. I want to skip not so important meaning. Fukuoka, Kumamoto. We separate the Fukuoka, Kumamoto, Oita. I have already mentioned the location of Fukuoka, Kumamoto, Oita. Debris flow, number of debris flow, landslide, slope failure, causality, and also lower figure indicates the houses completely destroyed, houses partially destroyed, houses damaged and flowed above floor level, under floor, above floor level, under floor level. This is a number. So you can imagine so many severe this time, so many severe disaster hit to my living country. So considering the rainfall conditions, I want to introduce sediment disasters in Kumamoto Prefecture first. After that, I want to move on to the sedimentation disaster in Fukuoka Prefecture. So where is, Kumamoto, again, I want to confirm, Kumamoto Prefecture, around here, severe geodisaster occurs in this region, located at Kumamoto Prefecture. Oita, here, around here, and Fukuoka, just upper than Kumamoto area, around here. So this slide indicates the debris flow disasters in Aso region. どうしよう。シアファさん、can you hear me? ディアン先生、can I see the member joining this lecture? I only know ディアンさん、イグゾーディさん、リナルディ・シュンハルさん、シアファ・ナタシャさん、and アクマルさん。So, can you see another student? Difficult?
Which Prof?
So, okay.
Me.
Oh, Najib san.
Hey.
Najib san, can you hear me?
Yes, very clear, Sensei.
Do you know Aso region? Aso, do you know Aso? Aso mountain.
Not really, Sensei.
Volcanic, typical active volcanic mountain in Japan, in Fukuoka. No, in Kumamoto. Like Merapi.
Yeah, Merapi Mountain. Hi.
Do you know Merapi?
Yes.
Oh, yes, good.
Near my town, actually.
When I was in Indonesia, I faced eruption of Merapi from my hotel.
Hi.
Anyway, Aso, I want to explain. Aso is here. You can see, this is Aso. Aso active volcano. You can see, this is caldera.
Very clear, yes.
Okay, so in Aso area, very severe debris flow occurred, like this. You can see Tateno area, this is debris flow, okay, and also this is also another debris flow. Tateno area indicated here, and also Teno area, kind of debris flow occur, Teno area around here, and also this one, Sakanoshita area here, many debris flow occur, then Sakanoshita around here. So you can see focusing the houses, many mud come to the house, hit the house, like this. You can see this is cow evacuate like this.
You same with the Merapi Sensei. It's like that.
Like Merapi?
Yes, like that.
Ah, good.
Okay.
Then most of debris flow occurs inside of the asosoma. And those debris flow causes great damage to local community, as you may understand, you can imagine. Then this is, let's focus on first, this area's debris flow. Debris flow in just a moment. Teno area. So you can more geological analysis will be conducted. So this area weld tough at head of scope, scarp like this. Then at first, weld tough having like this grown up pillar joint have been widely distributed to bottom of failure zone. So precise enlarge these parts we can see like that. And also boulder which reaches to village contain 5 meter or more in diameter. Oh, this is very much surprise. 5 meter. This is called as sand gravel type debris flow. So debris flow occur in this area. Then fit the houses, kind of that. These houses. This slide indicates the situation of debris flow in Sakanoshita area. You can see. Then area of Sakanoshita debris flow in this area from here to here. You can see this area. So this is a map like this. You can, I need to explain mud type debris flow occurred due to the thick sediment deposit between relatively old ASO2. ASO2 is a very, ASO2, I can say ASO2 here, pyroclastic flow deposit. Pyroclastic flow deposit, and over this layer, we can find the ASO 322 intermediate deposit. After that, ASO 3 pyroclastic flow deposit. This is multi-layers like this. Then from this mountainside, mud type debris flow occurred due to the thick sediment deposit between relatively old ASO2 and new ASO3 pyroclastic flow. So as a pyroclastic flow, so the debris flows material like mud. On the other hand, this terra area, different type of debris flow. So you can see many big rock come to the town. The sand, we call it sand gravel type. Two different debris flow occur. One is sand gravel type. Other one is mud type debris flow. Even if not so big distance between terra area and Sakanoshita area. So transport distance becomes, so due to the mud type debris flow, transport distance becomes longer because mud type debris flow containing large amount of water. And also, this is very specified debris flow occurs in National Route 57. National Route 57. You can see this is National Route 57. National Route 57. So 3 failure simultaneously occurs. Failure A, failure B, failure C. Then hit this national road. This national road. This direction for Kumamoto direction. This direction for Oita direction. Okay. Damage length is around 130 millimeter. 130 millimeter. You can see scale of failure. Failure A, length 210 meter, width, maximum width 35 millimeter. Failure B, length 450 meter, width 20 millimeter. Failure C, length 110 millimeter, width 20 millimeter. So this is a debris flows map. Failure A, failure B, failure C. Then hit this road. Mud and debris soils hit this area. The debris flows due to slope failure on the mountainside hit the road. Mountainside hit the road. This is cross view of failure A, failure B, failure C. Again, I want to say damage length, focus on here. You can see many water, surface flow water visualized. I see my memory, after the disaster, 10 days or 1 week, 10 days, 1 week, 2 weeks passed. Still kind of water come to the surface. That is big problem. Then, so let's analyze situation and characteristic of sediment disaster in Aso region. At the first, sediment disaster, this is plan view, this is class view. You can see, how to say, sediment disasters mainly occurs at north to east part of Soma in Aso and the foot of Nekodake. Nekodake is a part of Aso Mountain. So you can see volcanic ash soil deposit around 1 to 2 meter like this. And also here, convex break of slope like this. Then a potential failure surface can guess like this. Then below the crow box soil layer, we can find pyroclastic flow deposit. So I think this boundary should be weak point to generate the mud flow and debris flow, I guess. So maybe the water come to the soil, then water flowing this line. Then finally, this line becomes slip surface. Then it becomes trigger to do the mud flow, mud type debris flow. So I summarize like this. I want to say debris flow can be classified in two types. I have already mentioned mud type flow and gravel type flow. In most cases in this area, volcanic ash clay soil at the head becomes the failing trigger. The head is mostly in convex, like this convex shape and having potential break zone. It must be the trigger. Water seepage tend to be concentrated at stratum boundary above impermeable layer. So this is pyroclastic flow deposit is relatively impermeable comparing with box soil layer. Then the water run up through this line. Debris flow moves downward far and spread due to large amount of water supply. That is considering image scenario to do the mud debris flow. So this is this area repeated heavy rainfall come to hit to this area. Then severe disaster have already occurred in 1990. So in 1990, rainfall pattern like this. So maximum hourly precipitation 67 millimeter here. Then after maximum hourly precipitation occurred, disaster started. Geo-disaster started from here. And also in 2012, maximum hourly precipitation 108 millimeter here. Then disaster occurs, start to here. Then let's compare the disaster area between it in 1990 and 2012. So black mark indicates the geo-disasters event in 1990. Red mark indicates the geo-disaster in 2020. So we can say from this map, some debris flow occurs on 1990s. Also, some occurred at new slopes. Some debris flows have been occurred longer and spread. So from this evidence record, we can say we should analyze repeating sediment disasters carefully and then reflect the result to propose something to reduce these disasters. That is our mission, belong to Geotechnical Engineering Laboratory. So I move on to the sediment disasters in Fukuoka prefectures. So before starting the explanation of sediment disasters in Fukuoka prefecture, any questions up to now? It's okay? So
maybe one student will be interactive with you, Prof.
Okay, no, it's go forward, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mrs. Gracia, please, will interactive.
Yeah. Someone make a question?
Yes.
It's more like
glacier.
yes. Sensei, I would
Yeah.
like to ask about something from your presentation, since the study case is mostly in Kyushu region.
Yes.
What is the actual and primary factor that differentiating between sediment failures in Kyushu region and another Japan region, but with the same case?
I think Kyushu, as I mentioned, Kyushu area is a percentage of geodisaster is #1 comparing with other area, and also Kyushu Island is kind of volcanic island. Therefore, so many volcanic ash soils deposited in this area. Then maybe most of Kyushu Island geodisaster linked with volcanic ash soil layers and how to say pyroclastic flow deposit strongly linked with, and also Kyushu, north part of Kyushu Island strongly linked with gravel kind of gravel rock and soils. Weathered gravel rock and soil becomes trigger. Therefore, and also south part of Kyushu Island. Do you know different type of volcanic ash soil deposit, sandy soil deposited? So north part of Kyushu Island related to the disaster related to sandy volcanic ash soils. Middle part of Kyushu Island mainly related to clay volcanic ash soil layers, and north part of Kyushu Island mainly related to the how do you say gravel types and gravel types weathered disasters deposit linked in from geological point of view. And Kansai area, Kanto area, Tokyo area, I think situation is completely different, I guess. But I do not have any evidence at the moment. Therefore, just difficult to say what the difference between the type of Kyushu's disaster and the type of Kansai's disaster, type of Kanto area's disaster. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much, Sensei.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's okay to go forward. I want to. Okay, thank you. So, let's topic should be sediment disasters in Fukuoka Prefecture, my hometown. So, as you may know, my campus located at here. If you have a chance, please visit our campus. You mean Akumaru-san now belong to our laboratory. If students visit my campus, Akumaru-san introduce something to students, I guess. So,
Yeah, Sensei. This is Akmal-san. Thank you, Sensei.
Anyway, Kyushu University located at here, and also investigation site of Yame City. Yame City faced to the very severe geodisasters. So Yame area around here. This is a border of Kumamoto Prefecture. Do you know Beppu hot spring area? Beppu here. Beppu. Very famous onsen, spring. Oita Prefecture here. This is border, I guess. Anyway, okay. This is Oita Prefecture. This is Kumamoto Prefecture. That is Fukuoka Prefecture. The event occurs in this circle. You can see this figure, this photo indicates the investigation site and characteristic of sediment disasters. You can see red mark indicates the debris flow. Many debris flow occur in 2012. And yellow mark indicates the landslide site. So many landslide occur. And also slope failure like this occurs. Blue mark indicates the slope failure. I want to introduce Hoshino areas disaster here. Slope failure, yellow mark here. Landslide evidence, events, and Kuroki here, slope failure events. I want to introduce focus on two sites. So at the first, I want to introduce Hoshino village. Oh, sorry. Hoshino village, Goto region, and Tashiro Dani of Kuroki town, Yama city. So this photo indicates the debris flow. You know, trigger started from here, and two stream, Hoshino Goto number 1, Hoshino Goto number 2, like this. Then hit this town. So this figure indicates the debris flow in Hoshino village, Goto region, Yame city. So many debris flow occurs in mountain streams, as you can see. And also, this is a moving line of the rock and soils. Debris flow in Kuroki town. This is photo debris flow in Kuroki town in Tashiro-Dani region. So first line come to here like this. This is a tea farm, like this, and another line here, then come together, then finally these debris flow arrived at Kasahara River, very small river. Majority of debris flow considered to be a sand gravel. You can see the debris flows contents considered to be sand gravel. So this one indicates the situation of debris flow in Kuroki town, Tashiro region, situation in crown and downstreams. Here is a starting point of debris flow, crown like this. In crown part, shallow slope failure in depth of 2 meters, surface layer is strongly weathered. In downstream parts, this is tea planting farm. Tea planting is scored. All gravel is andesite in this region. All gravel is andesite. and sizes ranged from foot size to 2 meter. Foot size to 2 meter. This is a slope failures situation. Kuroki town, Tashiro region, Tashiro region, Yame city. This slide indicates the large-scale slope failure and blockage in part of river. You can see this is river. This is river. This is river. One very limited period, this sediment cover the river. Then natural dam generated. So at that time, very, very dangerous situation come to us because water level gradually increase due to natural dam. Then one time, if natural dam failed due to the water, it's expect very severe damage occur. Damage occur in this area. Then this is full view of the slope failure in this area. Then we are walking around here carefully. Then take a photo like this. Collapse with this photo indicates the collapsed width is around 150 meter and depth is around 30 meter. Bedrock is schist. Bedrock is schist at the top. Is strongly weathered. And outflow. This photo indicates the outflow of collapsed soil in the river. So this is considering mechanism and situation and characteristic of sediment disaster in Yame region. Most of cases are debris flows. In this region. There are many debris flows occurred along Hoshino River and Kasahara River, which are tributaries of Yabe River. It usually occurs where the width of mountain stream is very narrow. Slope angle is larger than 15 degrees. And second one, large scale slope failure in Kuroki region. So we can say failure occurs at strongly weathered layer where bedrock is schist covered by old volcanic rock. This is an image of slope failure. Kasahara River here. This deposit one time, a certain time, cover the Kasahara River. So this is geological situation. Whether the schist can find here and intact schist can find there. The erosion and weathered andesite are deposited here. Then I want to move on to occurrence of collapse in the absence of rainfall. Nowadays, a silent slope failure often occurs in this region. I want to briefly introduce that situation. Then I want to consider the reason with students, joining students. What is the phenomenon of collapse in the absence of rainfall? So this is a Japanese government's category two types, silent failure, two types. One is the phenomena of collapse due to the delayed effect of the most recent preceding rainfall. Example, Kagoshima south part of Kyushu, Tanomizu city. Natural slope occur linked with this phenomena. The second one, the phenomena of collapse under significantly low rainfall conditions prior to the last. Example, typical example should be natural slope failure occurred in Nakatsu City, Oita Prefecture in 2018. So I want to mainly discuss number 2. You can see Nakatsu City's event occurred in this region. So last time we discussing the debris flow and many slope failure in this region, not so far from here to here. And also, again, I want to say Kyushu, my campus located at here. The distance is around 100 kilometers from here to here. Okay. So this is a massive this is massive slope collapse in Yabake area, Oita Prefecture in 2018. You can see this is a bird view of the failure location here. Then when we stand up in front of here, I took a photo like this. So here is a houses. There are 6 or more houses constructed here. Then suddenly, one day, this mountain failed like this. So I want to say size of occurrence about 160 meter width and 220 meter long, 220 meter and 160 meter width, and maximum depth of failure is around 35 millimeter. And also amount of moving soil mass about 130,000 cubic meter. Rainfall, I want to assert that total rainfall in the 2 weeks before the disaster is only 6 millimeter. The damage, 6 people died and 4 houses were destroyed. So that's why failure becomes a social problem in 2018. So this is static record. This slide introduces classification of landslide in the past 15 years. So we can say number of sediment related disaster is around 1,500 over. Among those, steep slope collapse include those of 60%, 67%. Among steep slope collapse, surface collapse is around 70 to 90% in general. And also landslide time-dependent slip should be 14%. And mudslide, it's like a debris flow, is around 90% in Japan. It means surface collapse. Surface collapse should be 80% of all landslide with traffic restrictions. That is a Japanese situation, and you can see this is a plot of disaster, geo-disasters linked with direct controlled national road. Direct controlled national road. Sorry, Japanese. So many. Red one is a falling rock. Yellow one is a surface failure. Star indicates the rock failure. Rectangular, triangle mark indicates the landslide. And diamond shape indicates the debris flow. So these plots show the sediment disasters classification. So this slide indicates the frequency of slope failure during no rainfall. So you can see slope failure. This is a plot of the slope failure in Japan. Slope failure during no rainfall events have occurred across the country. You can see Kyushu Island to Hokkaido. Tohoku area here, Kanto area here, Chubu area here, Kansai area here, Shikoku Island, Chugoku area, including Yamaguchi and Kyushu Island. So slope failure during no rainfall occurs at a high frequency in the Kyushu region. You can see many plots there. No topographical features or trends can be identified for the full country. The majority of the geology is composed of two types of accretionary sedimentary rocks and volcanic rocks, especially weathered. So this is a question. Why does slope failure occur during no rainfall? So let's consider in terms of soil mechanics. So as you may understand, for a given sliding surface, focus on the sliding surface, so driving force is greater than resistance force. Sorry, Japanese. Slip failure occur. Do you agree this sentence? Gracia-san, do you agree?
Yes, Sensei.
So then analyze this correlation. Analyze this correlation from soil mechanics. So we generally use factor of safety. Is it correct? Andrian-san. Andrian-san, can you hear me? Andrian Yusuf-san.
Yes, Sensei.
Yes. So, do you know the factor of safety?
Can you repeat it again? I can hear it clearly.
Do you understand the factor of safety?
Factor safety.
Generally used to discuss the level of safety. We use factor of safety defined like this.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, Sensei.
Oh, really? How about Danny-san? Can you hear me, Danny-san? Oh, no response. So what should I do? How about Muhammad-san? Can you hear me? What I say? Oh, no response.
Yes, Sensei.
Hi.
Can I make a response to you, Sensei? This is Akmal.
Oh, Akmal, hi. Factor of safety defined by resistance force over driving force. Okay?
Yeah.
Agree?
Yeah, Sensei. Agree,
So
Sensei.
when draw the resistance force, for example, let's consider the circular surface, circular slip surface. Okay? Resistance force indicated by this function. Okay, Akmal-san.
Yeah, Sensei.
C dash is cohesion, phi dash is internal friction angle, W is the weight of soil mass. Okay,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
that.
Sensei. Yeah.
And also driving force, weight of driving force link of weight of soil mass over the slip surface. Okay.
Yeah, Sensei.
The important thing is upper parts function should be effective stress. The lower parts driving force should be total stress. Agree?
Yeah, Sensei, agree.
So, therefore, upper parts resistance force is a function of C dash, sigma dash, phi dash. So, noted by effective stress. Lower parts driving force given by total stress, sigma. So, based on this one, so let's check it out with a model experiment. Okay? Gracia-san, can you respond to me?
Yes.
So, this is a man-made slope. Okay? This much indicates like a tree. Accept it?
Yes.
And also, so water come up from the back. Okay? There is no rainfall from the surface. Okay? Please. Oh. Something strong sound. So I want to just a moment, please. Can I find the slide right now? No? Akumaru-san, can you see the slide?
Yeah, Sensei.
You can see.
Yeah, I can see your slide. Yeah.
Okay, then I start the movie right now. Please carefully check. Blue water come up. Then suddenly failure occur. You can see. Let's start. Gradually water come up like this. Then the water enter the here we go. Like this, failure occur, even if there is no rainfall. Okay, then let's consider the mechanism. I want to make a question one by one. So no rainfall. Let's consider the viewpoint of soil mechanics. So no surface flow and no seepage flow. But water sometimes come to the slope from the back. So no seepage flow, therefore no increase in groundwater level from the top. But water excess pressure generated or not? I think groundwater level may increase if water come into from the back. And no seepage pressure from the top, no saturated of the ground from the top. But from the back, sometimes silently groundwater level increase, silently degree of saturation increases. And also geological time pass inside of the soil layers or rock layers gradually becomes weak. It means weakness of the boundary layer. Then, increase in sliding, even if driving force increase, but increasing sliding force and reducing resistance, then balance driving force becomes greater than resistance force. So this slide indicates the increase in sliding force, but even if keeping in sliding force, only increasing the decreasing the resistance force, this function satisfied, then finally failure. That is a kind of mechanism to understand silent slope failure. This is actual investigation result in my target area, massive slope collapse in Yabakei region. Failure pattern from the committee. This is a indication, final result indicates the failure pattern from the committee, technical committee. The detailed borehole, so the committee did the detailed borehole investigation, and based on the analysis at 3 locations like this, finally they conclude that this is slip surface zone. So at first, weakness due to smectite there. So why weakness due to smectite? The reason is groundwater supplies from the back to this line. Then denuded tuff, here is a denuded tuff breccia. So this is weakness due to smectite, and also sometimes rainfall, seepage from the back, then water come to here. Gradually this boundaries strength weakness, strength becomes weaker with geological time, and certain one day slip failure occurs like this in this side. That is a scenario to discuss the silent slope failure in this area. So therefore students need to understand, even if even if there is no rainfall, so inside of the surface becomes weathering and weaker due to groundwater. So failure often or one time occurs. So therefore, so we need to check the surface, something different situation day by day. Management is quite important to check the quality of surface, quality of slope, stability from the information of the surface. Then I want to introduce final talk approaches towards the prevention and reduction of sediment disasters. So this is my understanding relationship between disaster force due to rainfall and disaster prevention forces. Considering the climate change by global warming, this figure is an image. Elapsed time like this, past, present, future. Past, present, future. Red line indicates the disasters prevention force. Disaster prevention force. So this is a case in Japan, not Indonesia, Japanese case. So this black line indicates the disaster force, kind of intensity of rainfall. So you can see past, like this is a scatter, but the average line indicates a solid line. So gradually present here, if we do not concern about climate change by global warming, rainfall intensity increase like this with scatters increasing. So then, therefore, on the other hand, disaster prevention force, this is present. So my country population reduce and young generation reduce and old generation increase. Therefore, disaster prevention force, including human being, gradually might be decreased. That is Japanese my understanding in Japan. So therefore, this gap, disaster force and prevention force gap increase. Therefore, we need to do something to reduce this disaster force like this, and also we need to adapt to something to increase disaster prevention force. That is my understanding. Reduction manner and adaptation manner are needed as early as possible in Japan. That is my feeling. So contribution to reduce repeated sedimental disasters based on the preliminary and detailed investigations to prepare the database that collects the record of past and present disasters. That is very much important to be easy to compare from geotechnical and geological point of view. It is expected to contribute to the local communities to adopt suitable countermeasure to minimize the risk. That is very much important to verify whether the existing prevention structures such as check dam and drainage system performed well or not. Based on these results, adequate disaster countermeasures need to be proposed, considering the factors such as increased frequency and intensity of natural hazard. This is one of the example investigation results. This is check dam. This is the situation of check dam built in 1987. So you can see most case of check dam after the disaster in 2012, something clear crack existed here like this. It means so strength is not so enough comparing the disaster force. Therefore, in order to repair or reconstruct the check dam, reinforcement of each part is important under the increasing disaster forces. And also, this is a soft size countermeasure. So this slide indicates the fulfillment of the data on mountain region. You can see our Kyushu society collect the data, geological data. Red mark indicates the point to have geological data and geotechnical data. So you can see this is in 2005, this is in 2012. So gradually increase something the red mark like this. But you can see mainly sea area, there are so many data existed, and also downtown. On the other hand, so we faced many severe disaster in mountain area. So you can see, so this today I focus on 2012's mountain areas disaster. The data is not so much. Therefore, so we need to collect the data of mountain regions, for example, in this area. Then collecting the data. So if we collect the data, we can analyze something countermeasure related to the disaster's characteristics. Therefore, continuously we need to collect the data, geological data and geotechnical data on mountain regions in Kyushu, like this. So conclusions. So our investigation study should always be conducted paying attention to how we can contribute to reduce the risk of repeated sediment disaster. This seems to be common geotechnical engineering sense all over the world. So this is the last slide I want to say to the students. Do you know that Torahiko Terada? This is famous how to say, famous writer in Japan. So he was born in 19 how to say, sorry, 1907, sorry, is it correct? 1978 to 1935, quote. Words of Torahiko Terada. Natural disaster come once, they are forgotten. Natural disaster come once, they are forgotten. Japan has had a long history suffering various devastating natural disaster. However, with time passing, people seem to forget the tough times, fatalities, and sorrow they have suffered. So considering this sense, he mentioned natural disasters comes once, they are forgotten. We need to keep the memory even if time pass, the disaster occur. That is a message from Terada Torahiko, kind of poetryist. This photo shows a monument at the entrance of Torahiko Terada Memorial Museum. So same thing, natural. This is Japanese character. Natural disaster comes once. Sorry. This is a Japanese character. Natural disasters comes once they are forgotten. Botanist Dr. Tomitaro Makino, born in Kochi Prefecture. Botanist, this guy prepared this plate. This is a photo of Dr. Torahiko Terada, age of 57, Asama Observatory. So age of 57, I feel this face look at very much old. I'm now 62, older than me, but the age is younger than me. I'm very much surprised. So thank you very much listening to my talk. I want to conclude my lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Yes, Fuku, for your interesting presentation, and it's very interactive because this condition like in Indonesia today, this rainy season in Indonesia. Okay, and before we move to Q&A session, I would remind our respected guests and participants to filling of attendance from in chat room. Sebelum kita mulai tanya jawab, untuk para peserta silakan mengisi link kehadiran yang ada di chat room. Okay, Prof. Now we'll continue with Q&A. We have the 30 minutes for Q&A. We have some questions. I will read. The first question from Dita Rizky Widayanti from Undip. From January to October 2020, landslide occurred in Indonesia more than 800 times and caused many victims and material losses. How do we monitor future landslide to minimize the victim and material losses like that?
I need to do something.
Okay, I will repeat the question. From January to October 2020, landslide occurred in Indonesia more than 100 times and caused many victims and material losses. How do we monitor future landslide besides guessing the landslide will occur? And how will we monitor the landslide like that?
I think, Sensei, I think the student wants to know about how to measure the landslide in field.
How to? I cannot hear.
Something like that. Then,
so
yeah,
network connection too bad. What question?
Okay. I think the student wants to know about how to measure the landslide in the field, Sensei.
How to measure? Oh.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
So I think nowadays we use special technique. For example, how do you say? Photo, a special photo. I don't know English words. Special photo.
Satellite images, you mean?
Pardon?
Satellite images.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I cannot. Pardon? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Sensei. I can hear you, Sensei.
So sometimes we use satellite data to analyze the landslide if landslide size is too big. And also we need to make a boring boring. Then we monitor the movement of the surface by using the boring by measurements system by using the borehole. Maybe there are so many methods to measure the landslide situation. What depth does movement started, or how much movement can occur up to now? Then we can get the information from actual boring data and actual monitoring data. And also we can get the satellite data and special satellite data and precise satellite data, then analyze. Then we can find the landslide situation. Okay?
Okay, Sensei. Yeah, because in Indonesia, the satellite images data not so easy to get, Sensei. But in Japan,
really?
yeah, but in Japan, I already know about Japan Space Station, and I already did the internship program.
Yeah.
So in Japan, always update, Sensei.
Yes, that's right.
Time by time, yeah. So yeah,
therefore,
this is the big difference.
Yes,
yeah.
Therefore we can get the effective data.
Yeah, Sensei, of course.
They compare the last time and the current time. Then, something change occur. This is moving. Kind of that.
Yes, Sensei, of course. Thank you.
So, how did you find the landslide evidence in your country?
Right now, I think in my experience from field site, specified field site, let's say the geothermal field site, because in geothermal there is more affected by weathered rock layer, Sensei.
Weathered rock layer, yeah.
So the landslide can be occur, and from that time, we should to consider on boring and by object, Sensei. Only by object photos.
Boring and by using the boring something monitoring.
Yeah, Sensei.
System
only like
installed.
that, Sensei. Yeah, only something like that. Yes.
Okay, but very costly, ne?
Yeah, Sensei. So only big company can manage the monitoring on landslide, Sensei, I guess.
How don't you use how to say some things I forget the name.
Seismic activity.
Yes, the same thing also, and very convenient drone.
Drone, Sensei.
Drone.
Yeah, Sensei. Yeah, Sensei. Right now, in maybe most of the time until this, from 2018, we already know about drone capacity. Also has same information we get like satellite data, Sensei. So we can use drone.
I think
specified.
If we effectively use drone system with special camera or with special measurement system, might be effective. How do you think?
Yeah, Sensei. Of course, Sensei. Thank you for your advice, Sensei. I think we should to consider about that. Yeah. So please, next question, Dian Sensei.
Okay, make the next session. Question for Rafia Nur Maulana from Diponegoro University. She want to ask Professor about how are the steps of the Japanese government in anticipating natural disaster that occurs in the islands, especially in Kyushu every year.
Please, one more thing. Again, just difficult to catch what you say.
Yeah. Can I help you, Sensei? I think Dian Sensei wants to make a question. The student wants to know the Kyushu Island monitoring type in landslide activity. maybe same question like before, but in specific area, because in Kyushu there is landslide type by debris flow and divide by the rock size. So there is a fine size and greater than fine material like a rock size or andesite or something. So how to measure kind of that, Sensei?
Just difficult to measure before failure occur.
Yeah, Sensei.
But
I guess so.
So I think we need to prepare the disasters map. So when we understand the type of deposit layers, so we can analyze, we can expect, we can guess what type of landslide occurs. So maybe someone geologist need to do the classification of type of landslide based on the layered deposit materials characteristics, I guess. How do you think, Akumaru-san?
Yeah, Sensei.
But not so easy. But
yes, not
so
easy.
possibility, it's better to show the possibility, showing possibility to possibility linked with a type of rock, type of weathered condition, type of degree of weathering, kind of that.
Yeah, Sensei. Yeah, maybe in Indonesia, most of the file data on precipitation, something like that, or disaster management, it's very secret, Sensei. So
very secret.
Yeah, yes,
really?
Yeah. In my case, I can access the data. We only know about the image data, but if we want to calculate or anticipate the landslide movement, we should to take some stations and say, so in the station there is many station almost. Most of Indonesia can make a station like a precipitation something. Yeah, but it's maybe not so secret. But if we have a regulation or if we got like a letter agreement, can get some data, Sensei, for
so
many,
it means
for specified action, Sensei, like research or something.
So you mean, of course, that is very much important.
Yeah, because so, in Japan,
contract between government and researchers.
Yes, Sensei.
Carefully, then open the data. That is very much important.
Yes, Sensei. Thank you.
So maybe so researchers and government management person need to communicate to each other, then increase proof, believement. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Mutual communication is highly important to share the data.
Yes, Sensei. Okay. Please, next question, Dian Sensei. I can't hear you, Dian Sensei, because you mute your microphone. Yeah.
Okay. There is a good, interesting presentation, but however, the time is running out, and
okay.
I suppose all questions are already answered by Prof. Yasufuku, and before that, I want to make a conclusion. The conclusion is Professor Yasufuku explained about Geo-Disaster and Japan and their adaptation. Geo-Disaster includes the sediment disaster and damage of river dike. Sediment disaster includes debris flow, landslide, and slope failure. The contribution to reduce repeated sediment disaster based on the preliminary and detailed investigation. The functions are to prepare the database that collects the records of past and present disasters to be easy to compare from geotechnical and geological point of view, and to verify whether the existing prevention structure, such as check dam and drainage system, perform well or not. Whenever we come to end the session, Prof. Yasufuku, on behalf of World Class University Program Committee, we would like to say thank you to Prof. Yasufuku for your time, valuable sharing knowledge and information. And maybe Mr. Najib, PhD as head of Department of Geological Engineering, will give thank you not to Prof. Yasufuku. Please, Mr. Najib.
Thank you very much, Pak Dian. Thank you very much for Professor Yasufuku for your time.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Sensei,
for
your time, and also for your sharing knowledge. It really very interesting. Actually, you explain about geo-disaster in Japan. I think that it is a new insight for me, for my colleagues, and also for my student. But because of the limited time, so we can continue more about your presentation. Is very, very good for knowledge for me and for all, for a student and also for geological department staff. And I hope for your sharing knowledge, we can give information, knowledge, and new insight. Like I said before, that because of usually we talk about landslide, just be
condition not so good. I think
Yeah,
couple of minutes I cannot hear what you say.
Oh, hi, Sensei. So yeah, just only for 1 minute more. So actually, it is very good for us because you explain more about the landslide.
Thank
actually,
you.
For the silent slope failure, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe in the next time you can share again about more about the geo-disaster. So thank you very much, Sensei.
Yeah, thank you very much listening to my talk.
Hi, thank you very much.
Thank you. So let's discuss more and more.
Yeah, later in the near future, Sensei. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi. Thank you, Badian.
Yeah.
And we also thank you for all participation for active participation. And we hope this workshop will be bring us about knowledge and enhance our knowledge about engineering geology application. And we hope we can make Prof. Yasufuku can come to Undip and then give a lecture, not by offline, but can come to Indonesia, visit us in.
Yes, right.
So
thank you very much.
I think overcome the coronavirus problem.
Yes.
And we can go to Merapi, Prof.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I expect to, I wish to go there.
Hey.
Nice time for photo session. Please turn on your camera for all participants. We can take picture for all participants with a speaker.
Mas Reddy mungkin bisa ngambil. Mas Sauki.
Menggunakan HP, Pak.
Oh, oke. Oke.
Oh ya, saya.
Oke.
Yes.
Mbak.
Sudah, Pak Dian?
Bu Ayu ya join nggak iso loh.
Okay, Prof. Yasufuku, I would like to say thank you very much for your time.
It's okay to close to connection. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It's very
thank
good.
you very much. Thank you very much to give occasion to talk with you. Thank you. ありがとう。
Thank you. ありがとうございました。
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 はい。
See you next.
See you, sensei.
悪丸さん、Thank you very much
いや、お
indeed.
疲れ様です、先生。
お疲れ様でした。
お疲
バイバイ。
れ様です
バイバイ。
はい
Thank you.
O疲れ様です。バイバイ。
Makasih Mas Akmal. Makasih.
Makasih.
Ya,
Makasih.
sama-sama Pak.
Ya,
Semoga
ya. Semoga
bermanfaat
nanti
buat
bisa
semuanya.
tahun depan bisa lagi.
Iya Pak.
Iya.
Insya Allah Pak.
Oke. Ya, ya. Makasih.
Terima kasih Pak.
Mas Freddy, ini sudah oke? Selesai?
Sudah ya.
Mungkin Pak untuk surat dan apa namanya sertifikatnya mungkin bisa disiapkan
Oh, ya.
kali Pak.
Ya, nanti diproses. Mas itu kan tanda tangan sama Wakil Rektor 4 ya. Nanti proses, nanti kami segera proses minta ya di minggu depan kita proses.
Oke Pak, baik Pak. Terima kasih
Ya.
Pak.
Oke, makasih Mas.
Iya Pak.
Mas Akmal, makasih. Pak Najib, makasih ya.
Sama-sama Pak Dian, makasih Pak.
Makasih.
Sukses terus
Ya.
Pak.
Ya, sama-sama. Sukses juga. Segera selesai Mas.
Siap Pak.
Ya. Ya, oke, makasih Pak Dian.
Ya, makasih ya izin ya. Terima kasih.
Oke.